Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's underscore Ginto back again to the root of today. It's one-on-one live coverage, and I'm coming from the rooftop here at Nairobi City, and everything is as planned. That we're going to be making sure that everything is coming to you live. It's one-on-one, and everything is systematically correct that we have just planned about the day gonna be, and we appreciate for everyone being tuned and locked in as we're gonna be watching and also enjoying the content, because today we have much of the breaking news, because much of the drama are still ongoing onto the platform, but we have to make sure that the update going to be coming to you as our responsibility, because much of the people still are waiting for that kind of a moment to come, because much of the people are waiting to know about Ginto, what has just come out. Much of the things are krakatooing outside here, because we have just found the JT broadcaster. It's already striked, and who is behind it and why was it behind it? Let me give you the story. Guys, yesterday you saw JT the podcaster talked about the Trenchtown grandpa, the Didi uncle, and Kenge. They came together as the three amigos. So they have replaced. I don't know if they're going to be replacing, because the three amigos was mine. I don't know if they have just replaced the three amigos with an immediate effect. And they was talking very shits about how the things were just going east, west, and south. And Kenge himself in his own live stream talked about you're going to be having one person who is remaining, and they're gonna be dealing with the guy perpendicularly per unit time. He was just a boy, and you understand, whenever Kenge was talking about that one, it's not the first time, because this kind of the people, they know whatever they want to do, and at what time they're gonna be making it. You know, sometimes I was just wondering about JT was telling Ginto that, you know, you are less in terms of knowing the technology east, west, and south, but the real fact has come out that things are changing randomly and in unexpected manner. Why am I saying so? It's because whenever this kind of the things are just going, some people don't understand that when things get good, think twice, because everyone was talking about, Ginto gonna be running from east, west, and south. You know, this has happened, this one has happened. You know, sometimes it's very difficult for somebody to judge somebody whenever you don't know whatever is just meant. And right now, it's better for Ginto. Is they're talking about Ginto is being chased from east, west, south, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Cat, Mickey Dog, every kind of the Mickeys. But the real fact that has come out is the channel is tracked. Even right now, whenever you go to the platform, there's nothing. Let me check, guys, because let us not have the conception which is not getting clearly. Let me check, guys, because I want to tell you what is really meant here, because things are not working properly as it had been arranged. So things are krakatooing right now. Let me check, guys. Right now is 4,553k subscribers, and if you go to his own channel, it's here. Let me broadcast it live here. It's JT podcast here, and when you go to the videos are there 7 months ago, and it's just for the members, and it's just 1 year or 11 months. It's just 7 months ago. And when we go to the live, because every day is making a live, only 2 videos are alive onto his own live stream. It's the one that he was talking about, what brings back the grandpa, uncle, and Ayamaro under one. It's called under one or the three amigos again, and this is for 8 months ago. They have deleted everything. So right now, JT podcast has no video. Right now, he has been striked. I don't know what is really happening, because I was talking about much of the things dealing with the Kenge, and things right now are now turning blackish. So things right now are not as far as things are being expected, because he had been warned, and Kenge himself talked about he has one person who he has to come and make sure that is diminishing and putting him down, and it was meant that it could be JT, but he never knew what was coming. Right now, I don't know what's really happening to the real effect of the time, because I'm the first person to get this kind of the first thing, so as you can just get this kind of the concept, what is really meant to this kind of the position. position. Let me tell you what was happening, because when the three amigos, whenever we talk about the three amigos, you get direct to the point where we started the three amigos and to the village, and I was having Mogesi, and also I was having Ernesto, so as we can just broadcast it live, and we talk whenever we are expecting much of the things, and Mogesi started getting out the information which was very critical, and talk about the information which is very complicated, which was meant that the release of the toxic substances from Kenge Villa to the river, and it was just contaminated water, so it was contaminating much of the water. So he had to make sure that he's hacking the channel to Mogesi, and they deleted everything, and they started posting whatever was meant in terms of Russia and Ukraine and people being killed here and there. And you know the YouTube platform doesn't recommend such kind of the videos, and they cannot be monetized. That is the real fact that has meant much of this kind of the Krakatoa, and to get to this kind of the portfolio, because we have to talk it as the way it is. And right now everything is now in a mess. I don't know where he is right now, but this is the breaking news that has already arrived onto the platform right now, and much of the people are going to be rushing to check on what is really meant, and is it the real fact on what are we meaning outside here, or it's just something not unique. I've just shown you from the real channel that has ever been posting through, because the videos are no longer available. All the lives have been already removed, and whenever the channel has been hacked and being striked at the same time. So JT right now gonna be starting one and making sure that but what I can just say is let him not have that kind of an influence talking about because this kind of the people are broadcasting whatever has happened. It's because right now the only person who the only people who can just broadcast is the people who are in the same ally. If we are not at the same ally, so as can just broadcast, so as people can know what is really happening, and most of the people doesn't recognize it, and that's why we always follow from A, B, C, D. I talked about we have so much NBI information is always dragged from every position. Nobody has ever seen this kind of the JT right now, and no one was expecting to have this kind of the circum that has already happened to him. But the real fact is I always say that this kind of the Kenge family, I'm always giving people this kind of a lecture that it's one of the very stubbornness, number one. They're very cruel, number two, and they think about everything is belonging to them, and whenever they check that this kind of a person might be doing something which is corrective and it's going to be moving forward than the way they expected it to be, they just come out and talk about, oh, you know, this kind of the people, they have to be diminished, they have to be struck, they have to be done this, and they're reporting videos right, left and center, so they can just make sure that the YouTube is giving some people the strike here and there. But the real fact is to the real essence of the time, I already checked much of the, even JT, there's a time he told me that I'm going to be striking you, and I talked about, hey, there's no problem about striking me. Whenever you want to strike me, you can just strike me. There's no problem about that one. The only thing is much of the people think about we're going to be depending on the YouTube only. The platform is no longer having once expected that you are the one who is meant to be in this kind of the platform, but the effect comes once, because sometimes you can never know how people are planning for you. You checked onto me, I was just seated and I was not having any kind of the fluctuations of the instances of the time, but what came out, I saw the contact was arrived with some of the people I don't know, and that's how they came and talked about, we want to take you where, I don't know, this and that, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Cat, Mickey Dogs, and all the Mickeys were just happening during that time. And what expected there, much of the people now turned into talking about E, B, C, D, but it was now into A, into B, into C, into D. It was like now a rhythm, or making sure that you're going to be forming one of the good song, so they can just be policing it outside there. But the real fact has come out that we have a bigger problem right now in Nyabuanse, and that is the real fact, because there's a time I told JT that I heard the rumors from my own NBI that they're gonna be coming for him, because they were looking for various informations and very resourceful people, and making sure that they're going to be coming for them and make sure that they are diminishing everything. When I said that all the reactors have been to be attacked, I was meaning what I was ever doing, because I said about M. Carol was summoned. I talked about Nairobi teacher was being tracked, and they got from the Bluetooth, and he was to be arrested. And also they talk about they're going to be going to Kokomama, they're going to be going to Black Beauty, they're going to be coming, and they came to me. And me, because I'm living very close to them, now they never initiated talking about they're going to be calling I don't know who, or the attackers or the goons, so they can just come to those kind of the people I'm talking about. They were sending much of the qualified people so they can just go there and put them down. But the fact is everybody has come out clearly and evidently talking about this is what has happened and this is how it's going to be happening at the specific point or the portfolio of how the time is, the era is. And when they talked about, oh, Gintu is the person we can just go live by one-on-one, so that's why you talked about they came to my place and I was seated and I was not having this. Somebody I talked about, somebody who was tracking me, and he just linked the information to them that Gintu is somewhere and is sitting and is doing something meticulous at that point at my G Castle. And the real fact now is coming out. I told JT that things are worse outside, and told him that things gonna be getting worse, because I checked my NBI told me that they are coming, they want to hack one of the channels. And I was very keen when I was listening to Kenge, whenever he talked about they're coming to one boy. Much of the people thought about it's Gintu, but never expected that it was going to this kind of a part. I talked about this kind of the scenario they're talking about, oh, Gintu here, Gintu there, Gintu is running to I don't know where. I'm not having any problem. Whoever is there thinking about Gintu has any problem. You are just lacking your own obstacle or obstinacy about how, or the consistency of giving out your content. Because I've checked in Nyabuanse, much of the people are now pumping, and we have somebody who is a man but is full of stomach. I'm checking the pregnant man in Nyabuanse is talking about, oh, Gintu left, right and center, thinking about you're gonna be getting much of the views talking about, oh, Gintu is, Gintu that, but the effect is always one. When I'm gonna be coming back to Nyabuanse, it's gonna be another sarcasm. It's gonna be another thing coming out, because he's thinking about you're gonna be getting to Nyabuanse and getting a fight. I'm not in terms of that kind of the stupidity, because you are thinking like you are thinking very back, like buttocks, my friend. Just start thinking like a man, because when you are thinking about you're gonna be coming and getting Gintu and we have a fight, it's something which is krakatuing to our own minds. And the effect is there's nothing will ever happen like a fight or anything, because I have nothing to offer from you. And the real fact is this kind of the people are just always talking about shits, east, west and south. They think about they're gonna be overtaking everything, but the fact has to come out in a way that we have to make things come out very critically. And already you have checked what is now getting to the worst moment. So once I can just remember there's a time JT told us whenever Mogesi's account was being attacked and striked, and also it was being hacked, and it was hacked with one guy called Gake, and we knew the passwords were coming from one of the HP laptop, and it was located in Nairobi. So the fact is always one, that JT was the one who was advising and telling us that you should do this, you should have two verification, this and that and this, and was ever giving me a bad moment during that time. And I don't wish anyone a bad moment, because I'm having my own life and I can just do my own things at that specific time that I need. That is the real fact. But when we go to the straight to the point of sticking to the real point about what has happened, it means that the Kenge fraternity, now the Kenge family, they now want to come back with their own hit, because they're talking about they are now lacking behind, they are now making sure that things gonna be not coming out clearly, but they want to make sure that they're gonna be initiating the force and endeavorsively thinking about they're gonna be coming with another strategy, so they can just make sure that this kind of the people are put down in with an immediate effect. But due to unconditional circumstances of the day, we can just reciprocate this kind of the matter once and talk about it's because of the jealousy. That's number one. And number two, we have they're thinking about their platform belongs to them, and also they think about the streets belong to them. And the effect is because they think about they're going to be having so much money to lure every kind of the position they might go. They think about they're going to be going to the south, they're going to be going to the north, and here and there. They're going to be luring much of the money to the people who are intellectually or the top notch in terms of maybe whenever we talk about the cyber optics, whenever we talk about hacking, whenever we talk about to the police, sometimes they think about they're going to be having so much money to waste, and what they're just doing is just a wastage of money, because when much of the people are still to grow, because they're always talking about the people who brought this kind of the platform, talking about the YouTube platform, but it doesn't belong to one person, because it can be shut. Kenya has no share there. The only thing is they're just talking about you just post your video, and it's not even the person who can be recommendable, because right now he has just got much of the sphere down, because the error of him is already getting to an extent. Now the extension where we are, it's now lowering it down, because whenever you just have an extension going up, it reaches at the brim, where now you cannot do this, you can just only slant down, because that is the only thing that they're just waiting for. But they could just be doing something very stable, because much of the people right now, they're depending on the YouTube platform. And right now, whenever I talk about the YouTube platform has much of the crackatoos and the hula baloos of the day, I do mean it. Once upon a time, I was talking about this YouTube street, it was brought in a bad way, because when I talk about it was brought in a bad way, I mean that it was not introduced the way it could be introduced, because we have so much hatred, we have so much jealousy, we have so much incompetency, and also talk about whenever somebody saw that, oh, maybe Gintu is doing this and Gintu maybe is doing that one, they think about it could be them and it could not be the person who is intended. But the fact is, one, when things get better to one out of the side, they think about maybe this kind of the person is a scammer, or this kind of a person is this one, because I checked, much of the people are talking about, oh, Gintu, where do you get some of the money so you can just build the castle? And I always talk about this is just the crackatoos of the day, and I talked about much of the people knows 3% of Gintu. That's why you check much of the people cannot get where Gintu is always under the target, because I don't announce the biggest platforms that are going to be doing at a specific time. That's what is giving them much of the hat-trick. And when we stick back to the real point about what is really meant by the backside, whereby the strikement and also the hacking of the channels is ongoing right now, because the person who has such kind of the intentions and is the one who is now thinking about going to be coming back with the scenarios that were ever happening. Because once I say about once I have just put out this kind of the information, and people have got the information at the valid point, I always give it to the talk about to the world, so that people can antagonize, can alliteratively get the moment and deal with it perpendicularly. But JT, I saw he just came out again and talked about he's gonna be making sure that is hey, what's up Buddha?
What's up, Buddha? How are you doing?
I'm doing better, man. What's about you, man?
Everything good, but I have fantastic, amazing. Sasa.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, give yourself a shout out before we go.
Oh, I'm live one-on-one?
It's one-on-one live. Yeah.
Oh, hello beautiful people, welcome back to
Yeah.
Skogitu's channel.
Yeah.
I'm Mayan here. I'm just calling from the village, and it's secret agenda. I never knew. It's live one-on-one, but I know everything is so fine.
Exactly.
And the G Castle is just fine. I'm taking care.
Everything is okay with my G Castle, man?
Yeah, your G Castle is so good, man.
Okay. What's popping out, man? Onto the village right now, man.
The village is so fine, but
Yeah.
there was a stone ball that came and destroyed all your vegetables, my friend. So we have to start.
We are talking about the hailstones?
Yeah, the stones from Mawe, Rainy Mawe.
Yeah, I understand. They're called hailstones.
Yeah, hailstones.
They destroyed my property, man.
Yeah, they destroyed all your kitchen garden, man, and they throw away all the iron sheet that will never be putted some iron.
Oh, but you got them?
Yeah, I went and took them. I put them inside the G Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everything is now so fine. We are just waiting for you to come to the village.
Okay, I'm gonna be coming. I'm sorting out some of the issues from the UK first. When I finish the sorting it out from making sure that everything, I'm waiting for the packages to land from the UK, so as I can just land with them back to Nyabuanse. And also, I'm having some of the 3 shoppings for the G Castle in terms of electrification and also the plumbing, so as I can just commence my journey back. And the real fact is, so you're talking about the hailstones created some krakatoa to the village there. Oh my living God. So so are you eating at home there? Because if the kitchen garden is destroyed, is there food already?
Yeah, there is food, but we know we were traveling the vegetables to hospital, but I don't know if we will get some of vegetables to take to hospital because they were destroyed all.
Jesus. So what about the kales that you planted yesterday?
It was destroyed, but small, and there is some that are just fine.
There are some which are fine, eh?
Yeah, but they were destroyed, that they were being cutted, so they are half.
So
they can just grow.
Yeah, I understand. And what about the new fish pond?
The fish pond have received some little water.
Little or more water, because you're talking about it rained cats and dogs, man.
Yeah, the hole that have a lot of water is the big one. The big one have a lot of water, but the fish pond have half water.
So between the first hole and the second one, which one is the biggest?
The first one is the first one is the small. Is the one have a lot of water, the second one have small. Yeah,
it's because of the larger surface area exposed. So everything is good, man. I'm gonna be calling you back after this kind of the session, and I'm gonna be putting some thoughts together so I can just know whatever is going forward.
Well, but remember to send me details on
I'm gonna be checking. I'm gonna be sending you.
And we missed you a lot in the village, bro. And there is some goons are just talking that you just disappear, but they never knew you went for things for honorables, my friend.
So the only thing that they don't know, it's not a must. We have to tell them whatever is coming out. The real fact is let them still wait, because I know the person who is intruding and thinking about we're gonna be having some of the abscondment, the alliterations of east, west, and south. But I'm gonna be dealing with that one perpendicular, because it's just a small boy and still is being fed with his own with her own mother. So I cannot have such kind of a stupid moment to. And what I know is thinking about gonna be coming for a fight. But the only thing is let us show that we can do the better things than even fighting. That's the only fact. And even you, what I can just tell you is you just don't have anything to do with such kind of the psychopaths, because they have nothing to offer to the society. The only thing they have to offer to the society is the bullshit, and also their own thinking about they're gonna be having bigger buttocks and bigger stomachs. How can a man be pregnant? I'm just still sympathizing with that one. So don't be insinuated with such kind of the small issues like that one. So you're gonna be dealing with that one perpendicularly per unit time, and you're gonna be knowing that he doesn't know. That's the real fact.
Wagwan, the real G. I know you.
I'm gonna be coming, bro, and keep it tuned, keep it locked. Let's revel it up.
Wagwan.
Yeah. You are going me general.
Wagwan me general.
Conquer the Babylon slash and mafia, man. So guys, that was a phone call from Nyabuhanse direct and from my G Castle, and everything is going good, but despite the challenges of high rain, and it was talk about the stone rain, which is the hailstones, it rained, and I'm gonna be checking on whatever has been getting immense and to there back there at home, and I'm gonna be dealing with it perpendicularly per unit time. So the effect that is always being created here is the motion, and much of the people are just creating some emotions, and motions that are not to be spilled out the way they are. And the fact is, it's because of the content. They think about whenever we have this kind of the content, Gintu is changing from this, changing to that one, and they think about now whenever you're going to be talking about Gintu too much, you're going to be thinking about people going to be now traveling from Gintu or migrating from Gintu's channel and coming to your own channel and talk about they're going to be supporting you, they're going to be, if you want to build, my friend, there's much more money that you have and you have right now, and this is the effect, because even this kind of the people they think about they're going to be aged than me. Yes, I don't refuse, but the fact is the way they're just using their own mentality. Whenever you're thinking about this kind of a person, I've never showed anyone about my family, and you are the one who is showing people the families that, oh, you know, Masubo one is the one who is dealing with your wife, who is behind it, and you know that somebody is conjugating your wife. Very stupid. And you're telling people that, you know, this kind of the boy started seducing my wife, and you are here telling people that you are a man of what? Nonsense. You're just using buttocks, bro. You start using your brain, because even your hypothalamus and a common denominator, it's not working properly, and you have to seduce your mind. If you want to be seduced very properly and think about it. Let me pump some of knowledgeable things to your empty head, and that's the real fact about it. And the effect that has already got to their portfolio right now, much of the people are getting it very, very crucial, because we have to talk about how it comes and how we're going to be getting out of this kind of the scenarios. Or both of us, we are fighting the same, we are talking about the same, we have a common how can we call it, a common enemy, because even when the allies were being formed during the First, the Second World War, we had some triple ally, we had the other allies that they came together to make sure that even if it's a country, but they have to fight the other people. And that's the fact that is coming out from Nyabuanse. We have an ally of Gintu, and we have the ally of the other reactors, and we have the ally of the Kenge fraternity. They are now fighting us to make sure that we are diminished and people can just check us with, like boggers. But the real fact is God doesn't always wear some shorts here and there, and that's the real fact, and that's what is giving them a very, very comprehensive equation for them to tackle. But when they will come to realize that whenever things get very better to your side, don't think about it's only you, you have made it to happen, but it's the living God who has made it for you to have it and to test you. And the real fact is, once upon a time it will reach at a time, the people you thought about, oh, this kind of a person is this way, and even me, they're going to be coming for me, because it's very, very soon, and I'm having this kind of the plans, and they're going to be coming, all of them, and they're going to be assembling to my position. And I'm telling you that as fact. Wait for that moment, because I'm initiating everything slowly, and when it comes to that kind of the position, everything going to be so good. And guys, when I was arriving to Nairobi here, I met with one boy called Mawera. Mawera has greeted much of the people and told me that, oh, Gintu, don't talk at me. Mawera has much of the things to say about, because he was talking about, oh, Gintu, me, I fear these reactors, and I know it will be so, and much of the people, they have not seen Mawera for a little bit long, and I talked, they are just with Grace Carey, and they're having some their own moving on, because we have to move on despite the challenge. But when I always say that we are being dropped down with the people we all trust, and much of the people think about, oh, when I say about with the Kenge, everything gonna be so fantastic. You checked on how the things are moving between this kind of the people who try to fight Gintu because of the achievements that we are doing, and somebody's just developing stories like talking about you know, this kind of a person is a criminal. A criminal? Am I a criminal? You are my foot, and you're thinking about a criminal. Do you know what's a criminal? And you're thinking about, now whenever you say about the criminal, you think about everybody is a criminal, and everybody is a prisoner in wherever you are. That is the fact. And what do you think about, you know, guys, whenever you are being told that this kind of a person is a criminal, what about he ever just was driving carelessly, and he just smashed much of the people carelessly onto the road, and they are now having some crackadoo. He doesn't have even a driving license, because it was taken with the government, because he was driving carelessly. You think about, they're going to be driving as carelessly outside here. There are people who are braver than you. So think about it whenever whenever you want to tackle much of the issues that you don't know. And the fact is that you'll never be like me, and I'll never be like you, because I even employed you. So what can you do to me? If I employed you to watch the River YouTube and I gave you work, and right now you are coming here to talk about A, B, C, D. You are very stupid, my friend, and you are silliest person ever. And this is the immensement that I always talk about. Some of the people, they should be having some. We should be having some canes in Yabuan so as we can deal with them perpendicular. We are fighting the same enemy every day, every time. And one person is coming to talk about gain to A, gain to B, so as you can win what? Every person who is with us outside there, even you, the person who is reacting upon me, and you are a reactor from Nyabuanse, we have the same audience. And when you are talking bad about Gintu that this is a criminal for who? I think you are just using buttocks. I don't think you are using brain. And the stomach is so big, you need to be rehabbed. And that's the fact. And before I get from Nairobi, I'm going to be looking for a good rehab, so as we can just make sure that we are symphonying that kind of... we are symphonying everything from your stomach. Yes, hello. Poa sana. Mimi niko, niambie, acha nimalize tu kidogo tu, niko kwa video afu nikupigie. So guys, we are back to the point, and it's the 30th minute of making sure that we are bringing this kind of the things out, and the real effect is coming out, and you can just check on how much of the people are doing some of the irresonant things that cannot be added up in terms of, even if you're gonna be going for an attachment and you're being told to give us a CV, and you are writing about you know, this east, west, and south, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Dog, Mickey Cat, Mickey Donkey, Mickey's every time, and you're thinking about much of the people when I'm talking about, oh yeah, Gintu did that one to you, oh we are sorry, yet we are having the same common enemy, we are having the same audience, and we are talking bad about Gintu. You're gonna be having a losing. And the effect, guys, whenever some people talk about Gintu, you are lying. I'm telling you, I employed this kind of the goons, and I gave them work, and I was paying them from my pocket, and they're now talking about, oh, you know, Gintu is bad, Gintu is this way, Gintu is a criminal. Yet I'm gonna be coming back to the village. Let me see the criminal you're talking about, and you're gonna be looking for me so that I can just make sure that you are moving from another position. And that's the fact, because you are thinking about you are the only fantastic moment, because we have this kind of the people fighting from the Kenge fraternity. We have them allowed, because where I am, it's where talk about Prince Odinga is always, and this is his own area, because when you can just check this area, it's one of the biggest towns here, and this is where Prince Odinga is always located, and I know even the house where he is. Even right now, I can just trace him and I can just get him, and he's always having has booked a home. He's just here, and I cannot reveal that where he is right now, because my intelligence already got where he is. So the effect is one that those are the people we just allow to make sure that they're going to be having some reaction. But when you come to insinuate and talk about oh, this kind of the people, they took over the game, they took everything from us, and we were the first three amigos, you are losing it. Let's fight and see how ourselves we're going to be squamarizing ourselves from this kind of the stupid irresonant, and we can talk about the krakatooing stupid things that cannot even add up to our own philanthropic Alsbasha of the time. And when I talk about this kind of the issues, it has become now like a trend that whenever you do this and this and there and this, they're going to be coming for you. The same reactors, which is what JT was ever doing, and without fighting, and they were just having fighting a losing battle. And the fact is sometimes they see that Gintu is a stupid person but surviving in the streets, and the real fact is that's why you see they are now coming for Gintu, because they have accessed my channels, they have reported me, they have done every kind of the insinuation statements, and they have written so many documents to the NGOs so they can just demonetize me, they can just strike me, but they have never got anything, because the content is coming from Gintu. The originality is the real G. That's what is now buffering them. And somebody is just loitering around the village and waiting for which kind of the time he going to puff and smoke some bang east and west and south and wait for the mother to cook food so they can just penetrate and talk about even have a wife, let's go and eat from my mother. Stupid Alice Bash of the time. And we are not interested. Even I'm not bothered with that one person. Let me not even get much of the intention with this kind of the person who doesn't have even something to offer to the society, because it's just it's there like a dog which is has seen maybe a leopard passing. It's just there like a locked dog. Be locked here in Bohanse. There's no much intention with you. So the real fact is that we are fighting the same enemy. That's the fact. And when we are fighting the same enemy, we have to come out clearly and talk about this is the situation that is by faulting to our own minds. Look at right now. Mogesi's channel had been hacked some previous last year. And right now, JT podcast channel has been hacked. That's the fact. What is causing the hackment? That is what we could just be going down and iteratively thinking about what are we going to do so as we can just acclimatize ourselves from our channels being hacked and being striked. And somebody is just fighting into that a criminal, yet we are just the same reactor who is looking for the content daily, and you're talking about let's think about and beyond the level. Much of the people from Nyabohanse, they are thinking of what is today. They cannot think about tomorrow because they don't know that opportunities, which is tomorrow has 3 opportunities than today, which has only 1 opportunity. And the real fact is I will ever come out to talk about this kind of the issues. How are we going to change this kind of the issues? How are we going to handle this kind of the issues? And how are we going to settle this kind of the issues? That is what we could be speaking as Nyabohanse. But the effect is somebody is talking about Gintu is building a G castle, Gintu is having a brand new car, Gintu is traveling from here to there. They're not talking about Gintu is in a hide. Who told you that I cannot reach to Nairobi? Who told you that I am using your money to travel? Because I have so many missions to perform in Nairobi. I have so many missions to perform in Nairobi. That's the fact. And it's not like the way you thought about Gintu is. Gintu has so many businesses to run, and that's the fact. And when you are waiting for this one to decline, I'm an opportunist, and I look where the opportunity is. Not the way you are just looking that the only opportunity is to attack Gintu and call him a criminal. You are losing it, my friend. So it's better you change, or you're going to be getting another moment coming to you crazy, because there's no much of hesitating with you. You are just a small, minute organism boy. That is the fact. And guys, we are stuck to the point, and we are looking at what is the real effect that we can just deal with, so as we can just put this kind of the scenarios that people are hacking and attacking our channels east, west, and south. Because you can find that somebody is has maybe your account, maybe is the one who is throwing you into this kind of the imbroglio, throwing you to the pogroms of the day, and we have such kind of the issues. And the lunatic psychopathism and affidavit point that we can come to the real correct affidavit time is we are lacking self-defense, and we are lacking unity. As we can talk about, hey Gintu, what's really popping out? Somebody's talking about I cannot rely on Gintu because we are common enemies again, and yet we are reactors already. And you, the same thing that made you to be a reactor, the same thing made me to be a reactor. Maybe I was influenced with the bad intentions to be a reactor, and yet maybe you, because when you talk about some people will talk about, oh Gintu, you have bad intention with the JT. No, JT, I ever saw JT during the party, and he was not welcomed with the way people are being welcomed. That's the effect. And when we talk about this kind of the issues, how they were, much of the people thought about I cannot be in this kind of the thing because nobody is saying me. When the deal is another deal is bad here, you say another deal, you see another deal. That's the fact. But JT, we are very sorry for the loss of your the channel a little bit, but I think we're gonna be addressing it with an immediate effect, or you can just repost in terms of the small posts here, so as you can just deal circumferentially with such kind of the instance, how it has just come to your own point. So for that moment, I can just say that we are very sorry for that kind of the moment, and we're going to be checking on how to deal with that very effectively. So keep it tuned. I'm going to be updating much of the people what is really coming out as far as we are in concern, and this is how we make things coming out very fantastic. So guys, this is just a recap on what is really meant outside here and what people are just passing through to make sure that a living is being put onto the table. Because much of the people, even I can just remember when Kengi was talking about, you know, this kind of the people that are using my name, and much of the families are fed with my name, but the real effect is, yes, they are being fed, exactly, but we are rectifying. We are not absolutely talking bad about person, but we are rectifying where the mistakes are. And maybe we are maybe we can talk about are we too much in that one, or what is really meant. Because when the Trench Town grandpa was talking about going to be coming back to the street like something else, you know, he has come out like something else. You understand it from all the pogroms and the situations that has ever been performed, and how we just made sure that we are putting him down because he was acting so crudely and stupidically. So right now I saw the live of the Trench Town grandpa, and he was talking about going to be back to the street with an immediate effect. Yes, we don't decline it because it's your own YouTube channel. If it allows you to do it, just do it. Nobody's bothered with that one. But the effect is don't again come back to Nyabohanse to have such kind of the stupidity pogroms you are ever imitating and doing to our own young sisters and our women into the village, because you are addressing things which are not even going hand in hand. Because we can be calling you the cucumber guy, because we're always talking about how can I just do this, how can I do that, how can I do this one. But the real effect comes us that it's something that you are just your intention to come to Kenya was to make sure that you are coming to shake some of the cucumbers and pears which are carelessly hanging and wilting cucumbers and pears, and you're talking about you're going to be doing something which is properly done. But the effect is one, we're going to be making sure that we're going to be checking on you. Very fantastic, because the JT is no longer around. Somebody else is going to be taking over the game and you're going to be coming back. I think you're going to be coming back because it's going to not take some long, and I know JT who he's talking about in terms of computer is the best, and I implied to that is the best, okay? And you're going to be making sure that you're going to be coming up with another strategy. So keep it tuned, keep it locked to the 48th minute of this kind of the live, which is one-on-one. And we're going to be talking about, thank you very much everyone who has been tuned and locked in and watching the video from wherever section you are. And we're going to be changing much of the live. So keep it tuned, keep it locked. I'm going to be updating you next, whatever going to be coming and to where we are. And much of the people are going to be waiting for Ginto at the village are going to be democalizing. It's just a short period of time, and they're going to be coming back to the village. And let me sort out some 2-3 issues here, and whenever I sorted them out, I'm gonna be coming back to the village and make sure that we are continuing with employment and whatever has to continue. And this is the last moment.